What up, Detroit? Like, share, and subscribe as you come in the building. I went live earlier today and I did a short and I was talking about the three missing rappers that was that came up missing in Detroit. Now this is for commentary, educational purpose, commenting on this news. Gonna give it a minute, let other people come in the building. But one thing that you see is how things turn on a swivel. I was just reporting earlier today that the three guys was missing. They came to Detroit to do a rap show at the club. It was canceled and the club was closed and they came up missing. So what they're saying as of right now is they just found a body on 6 Mile. That's between Detroit and Highland Park, right on the border of Detroit and Highland Park. Let me find it for you.
Highland Park.
We are going to begin with the breaking news at this hour, the case of 3 missing men.
Just moments ago, Highland Park police saying they believe they have found the bodies of the men at an apartment building at West McNichols and Log Cabin Street.
We want to get right to 7 Action News reporter Alex Bozarjian. She joins us live in Highland Park with the very latest on this.
For y'all that's not from Michigan, Highland Park and Detroit.
Dave, I do want to reiterate, city officials tell us they believe these 3 bodies inside of this abandoned apartment complex are those of the 3 rappers that have been missing for almost 2 weeks now. State police not confirming those details, but I do want to show you what's going on here. This is the apartment complex. It's abandoned. Windows are boarded up here, and that's where the investigation is focused, but it's scattered. Now, when we showed up, there were 4 blocks of activity. First, we saw a van that looked abandoned. It had no windows and some plastic over it, and there were police officers over there. They also went over to residential areas searching over there as well. So they're scattered trying to figure out exactly.
Cabin Street.
So if you don't know the backstory on this, again, as I was telling you, the 3 rappers came from other small towns surrounding Detroit to do a show. And they've been missing. But, with Tyree Nichols, and things that's been going on in the news, this been drowned out. So they just, they finding the bodies today.
We want to get right to 7 Action News reporter Alex. She joins us live in Highland Park with the very latest on.
Dave, I do want to reiterate, city officials tell us they believe these 3 bodies inside of this abandoned apartment complex are those of the 3 rappers that have been missing for almost 2 weeks now. State police not confirming those details, but I do want to show you what's going on here. This is the apartment complex. It's abandoned. Windows are boarded up here, and that's where the investigation is focused, but it's scattered. Now, when we showed up, there were 4 blocks of activity. First, we saw a van that looked abandoned. It had no windows and some plastic over it, and there were police officers over there. They also went over to residential areas searching over there as well. So they're scattered trying to figure out exactly what happened here. We don't know how they got to this point. Now, we're being moved on the other side of the tape here, but to backtrack on exactly what happened, I actually talked to Armani Kelly's mom earlier today, and she was still waiting on a detective to call her and confirm that her son has in fact been found dead. Now, these 3 men went missing on January 21st. They were on their way to a show, according to police, at Lounge 31. And it was allegedly canceled over an equipment problem. That's something that Armani Kelly's girlfriend said that he texted her. Now, it's just been this big story. A lot of people wanting to know how these men just vanished, and as well as the fact that their phones had no activity on them. So this is a developing story, and of course we will stay on it, hoping to speak to some of those family members about this tragic end. But it looks like the search for these 3 men is coming to an end here. That is what city officials are telling us. But of course, we're going to keep working the scene and getting more information, and we will get that to you. Live in Highland Park, I'm Alex Bozarjian.
To go, Highland Park.
And it's crazy because I just reported on this earlier today, which shows you, like I said before, how things turn tragic real quick. You know what I mean? And there's going to be other footage out there about the young man. The young man has some footage where he's going back and forth with some guys supposedly out of Detroit on social media. And then he comes, comes down to Detroit and he comes up missing. It's really tragic because with all the violence that you've been seeing ever since last summer was they had predicted was one of the bloodiest summers of a generation. Everybody was talking about 2023 and what's changing in 2023. In 2023, the savagery is continuing on from the previous year because no lessons is learned. The community is still divided. The community is on 10 with the violence. You know what I mean? People are not safe. People are not even safe in their own homes. And it was tragic because people in social media was already saying when they came up missing, and they was missing for over a week in Detroit without no phone activity, you knew they was dead. You knew they had been deleted. So, with all that being said, this is what these so-called black leaders need to be talking about. How to get a handle on the youth. How to get the youth out of these streets killing each other and killing people. I know you're not supposed to say that on YouTube, but we have to stop with the violence. The violence has to be stopped. Period. Because at this rate, you got to ask yourself, how many young people is it still out there? Is it still alive? It's almost like a zombie apocalypse or some futuristic movie when you look at what's going on in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, all over the country where our people are. You're seeing this type of violence. And it's sad because after they were gone, you almost kind of knew. You know what I mean? When people come up missing in the city, it usually doesn't turn out good. So I just wanted to update you on this tragic situation, how it's ended. I'm going to keep you posted. You're going to see a lot of stories about this in social media. Like, share, subscribe, come to the channel. Keep your head on the swivel. Signing out of Detroit. Peace.